Welcome into the Casual Gaming Conversation. I'm Connor. That's Nick. This is your weekly gaming podcast from Co-op64. This week we are joined in our Discord by various members of the Co-op64 Fantasy League for 2025, watching along, hanging out with us, going to be participating in the draft. So we're going to be going a little bit quick today. We're going to have some pace to it so we don't take up their entire day of doing this draft. So it might be a shorter podcast, but it's going to be a fun one. It's going to be an absolute banger.
4-hour podcasting. I mean, let's do it. Why not, Connor? It's going to be fun.
How we doing, Nick?
Doing great. What a fucking amazing weekend of content it's been. It's been a lot.
So much tent, dude.
So much tent. Connor and I, obviously, Casual Gaming News on Friday, Saturday, 12-hour stream, early wake up this morning. How did that alarm sound to you when you first woke up?
It was fine. I'm just so used to it at this point. And when you're going in to talk about something that you love, like video games, it's a lot less jarring than on a weekday when you're going in to pick box up, put box down in a warehouse. So I'm fine with it.
My face that I Snapchatted Brady this morning because he sent me a Snapchat right when he woke up also. I looked at myself in that photo and I was like, damn, it's going to be a long day. It's going to take a lot to turn it around. And then surely enough, threw Dummy on in the shower from the Undertale soundtrack. And it was just, and I was feeling great. So yeah. It was a good time.
Yeah, I felt great right as I walked through the door.
Yeah.
We've kind of been all gas since then. A banger Uncharted 4 spoiler cast, a banger shoot of TikToks for this upcoming week. But
shout out to Brady for getting those TikToks done fast. We flew through those TikToks.
I think that took less than an hour, which I think is the fastest we've ever done them. But we didn't compromise quality. We always prioritize the quality of the TikToks first and foremost. All right, housekeeping. Let's get into it. Patreon. We have launched a Patreon over at patreon.com/coop64, no dash, COOP64. If you'd like to support us over there, we'd really appreciate it. You get a bunch of bonus content by doing so, and you help the channel grow and keep the dream alive. Keep the dream going. At the $5 tier, you get access to a bonus episode of the Casual Gaming Conversation every single week. You already have a little bit of a backlog. If you're signing up this week, you got Trophy Talk. You got predicting Metacritic scores. You have our Dream PlayStation All-Stars Battle Royale roster. And now you will have the Uncharted 4 spoiler cast posting this Thursday, about 2.5 hours-ish. 2:15 of yapping about Uncharted 4. So look forward to that.
It's a yap fest.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. As well as that, at the $10 tier, you get Recollecting Retro, a retro collecting show. You get the Co-op64 podcast, which is already a new one up from this week with us discussing pets and appetizers and childhood shenanigans and coffee. A lot of fun.
Connor, you're messing it up every single time. What is my topic?
Oh, it's coffee.
It's coffee.
Okay.
So dumb.
All right. So if you support, and you also get additional bonus TikToks over there as well. We have a Studio Ghibli top 10 guessing list that we shot forever ago that we've just had ready to go in the can
since August.
Yeah. And then we have a 15 words or less that may or may not have gone poorly. You will find out.
It's a fun one. And the Patreon, a little behind the scenes, we can have fun with that audience and everything. Normally when I'm setting up a 15 words or less, I want the easiest things to be up front to get like a good cadence of like 1 or 2 words per those guesses. Let's throw in something like a Mario. Let's throw in something like a Cloud Strife, like that you can get down in a couple of guesses. Connor decided to go a little bit more difficult with the initial words. We were deep into we use a lot of the words of the 15 available early on in this video, not due to me having just an awful performance. Like sometimes I have a bad performance and you get up there.
You could have gotten some of these quicker. It was a team effort of a crapshoot.
Connor, we left that and you're like, yeah, that No More Clue was useless.
I messed up a little bit.
Yeah, no. But also, it wasn't the clues you were giving me. It wasn't me trying to deduce it. The words itself, you chose the hardest possible words to start out. It was a wild video. It's a really good video. It was challenging.
Look forward to that. And we would appreciate if you go and support over on the Patreon. Twitch, we are streaming 4 days a week, Monday through Thursday, 7 to 10 Eastern Standard Time. Nick is playing Metroid Prime on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Should be coming to the close of that. I'm playing Nier Automata. Apparently, I have to play it 3 times, so I don't know when I'm going to be done with that.
Yep.
And Brady and all of us are playing Bloodborne every Monday, and those are going up on YouTube on Tuesdays if you missed those Monday streams. So come join us over on Twitch. It's a lot of fun, just hanging out, playing games. We read all the chat, so it's a very fun time. Discord and merch, link in the bio. Join the community of over 2,300 community members. We have t-shirts, hoodies, mugs, and the merch store, which is also linked in the bio. And finally, Apple Podcast reviews. If you leave us nice reviews on Apple Podcasts, it gets the show out to more people, gets a new audience looking at the show, and we would really appreciate that.
Also, when Connor says link in the bio, it's also in the description. It's everywhere. If you look for this link, you can find it, and it gets you all of our socials and our handles and all that good stuff.
Alrighty, that was your housekeeping. Let's get into a little recap from 2024. We first look back into the standings. Should I just go standings first, and then we can dig into the roster?
Yeah, let's go standings, and to go top or bottom to top.
In last place, which I think we had technical difficulties on his end of not being able to pick up games. We have Alec McLongdong with negative 18.7 points.
Hey, he tried.
But he only had 3 games released because he couldn't pick up. There was some issue on his end for picking up games, or some issue in Fantasy Critic.
Oh, okay.
There was something going on. Next up, we have Alex the Golden, who rejoins us this year. We're hoping for a better performance at 42.56 points.
42 points. Pretty respectable. You can have some things in this league go very poorly, even if you are doing everything you need to do. You just have a couple of negatives or a couple of counter picks not going away. 42 points, not that bad. Good job, Alex.
Next up, we have Big Mac, who's joining us once again for this league as well at 51.38 points.
Big Mac's story was a little bit different. There was some bad picks in there, if I remember correctly.
What was it? It was Skull and Bones?
Skull and Bones was on the draft board. When you're going into drafting Skull and Bones.
There was also Foam Stars.
Foam Stars I think was on. I think Mackie had a decent team and then just had some bad picks.
Then we have Shane with 55.68 points. Nikki Two Shoes at number 6 place with 66.58 points.
We'll hop into my team in a moment.
Next up, we have Straw Hat Gumby, 76.7 points. In 4th place, I'm shocked he's this high up there. Brady with 85.34 points. Nothing to scoff at there.
That is a good team.
Next up, we have Smalls with 86.85 points in 3rd place.
And then
tragedy struck me. 2nd place, 99.03 points, losing by 0.79 points to Batted Degree, who hit the 99.82 points. Congratulations to Batted Degree, earning his spot automatically in the 2025 league. If you win the league and you're a fan who's participating, you automatically get put back in the league, and he's joining us again today.
Nice. Yeah, what a year last year was between the highs and the lows that Fantasy Critic allows. That getting smacked with a negative 17 from a counter pick or something when you expect the game not to come out. It's always just fun to see how it all shakes out. And then obviously the pickups and the shenanigans of the pickups are just so much fun throughout the year. So let's go.
Best pick, worst pick from each team. We're just going to go in draft order. So first up, I picked first last year. We randomized it. This year I'm picking 8th out of 11. Yep. So obviously it's not rigged, I promise. So my best pick, I would say, oh wait, you can't look at this. You don't have this up, so I'm just gonna have to tell you.
Yep.
You gotta go Shadow of the Erdtree. 94 points, or 94 on Metacritic, 28 points. But on top of that, I think I really kind of rounded the team out with some solid pickups that did decently well. Dragon Age of the Veilguard has a 79 at this point.
It's like an 81 on Meta.
When it came out, I thought it was like an 87. It's just ticked on down.
It's just gone down.
Damn. Then Dragon Quest 3, Ichi-2D, The Legend of Zelda, Echoes of Wisdom, and I had to rely on my fate on Planet Coaster 2, which came out at like an 84, and the reason I have lost is because it's at like a 77 now.
Oh, damn. That's funny.
But the thing that absolutely killed me was counterpicking Destiny 2, the final shape. Negative 22 points for my team.
Damn.
That kills you. If I pick something that's just negative 10, I win handedly. Get over that 100-point mark.
The counter pick is for the first timers that are watching this and playing around with the Fantasy Critic for the first time. It is way more of a large factor. And the best part of our draft is I get first dibs on counter picks from 55 games. It's a good place to be.
Yeah. Bad to degree, best pick was Final Fantasy VII Rebirth with his first overall pick. On top of that, you have something like Destiny 2, the final shape in the 4th round. 91 points, also killing me. Then he just has like a strong team. Rise of the Golden Idol, 85. Steam World Heist 2, 82. Super Mario Party Jamboree, 81. Banishers Ghost of Eden as the counter pick was an 80, negative 10 points. I mean, that's just rock solid.
This is the championship winning formula. This is how you do it. Yeah. You get a couple of heavy hitters, and then you don't fuck up somewhere else.
His biggest fuck up was Horizon, Lego Horizon Adventures. 71 points,
which
or 71 on Metacritic, which is 1 point.
Which you can handle one of those. You can handle like one little, but that's not even like a huge like swing and a miss. That is literally just it's a 0-sum game. That game basically didn't come out for him.
Right. Brady next up had Persona 3 Reload.
Great job.
Brady's just swimming in 80s. Like 88, 83 for Helldivers 2, 87 for Indiana Jones and the Great Circle. Diablo 4, A Vessel of Hatred, 83.
Yeah.
83 for Black Ops 6. Minimized damage, 82 for the Plucky Squire, so negative 12 points. Rock solid. I mean, he didn't have Prison Architect 2 come out. That didn't end up hitting.
He's going to draft it this year, though,
So that got him negative points. Alrighty. Next up, we have Nick, Cobra Kai Studios. Metaphor Refantasio, just crushing. But then,
by the way, first round pick. We all knew it, and when we this is what I realized when it comes to Atlas, RGG Studios, stuff like that, where they just don't fucking mess around when it comes to their Metacritic scores. They will always review well.
And we're probably going to be talking about some of those studios today, of course. But then Nick is just a professional of swimming in 70s. 77 for Eyes of the Ronin. 77 for Visions of Mana. 77 for Benny's Big Breakaway. 74 for Alan Wake 2, The Lighthouse. That's your draft.
Yeah.
5 games, one of them 92, the rest of them.
Let's break this down a little bit. And when I realized that my draft went the way that it did, where it was, this is rough, I started to go for the big swings,
Concord.
And so Concord, I picked up one because I sort of at this point knew what my fate was. I probably wasn't win the league, but Concord was like, okay. Hopefully it's PlayStation Studios. PlayStation Studios never misses, right? They never destroy. And yeah, it's one of the worst picks ever. And then I followed it up with arguably the greatest pickup in Fantasy Critic history that was undrafted with Astrobot.
Yeah.
And that deal has been well discussed on many podcasts. But if you're newer to the podcast, we're in line going to SGF. We're about to fly out to California. It's 6 a.m. Connor and Brady are yapping up about, what did you pick up on Fantasy Critic? I forgot about Fantasy Critic. And then surely enough, we're talking bids. Who's got the most cash? And I knew I had more money than Connor and Brady. I felt like I could get Astrobot. And I knew that thing was going to be 90 plus easy money in the bank. So what did I do? I spent a purse on it and dropped $84 on a 94.
84 in-game dollars, by the way.
Yeah, 84.
There's no money involved here. Next up, we have Small's team. His first pick and best pick was Dragon's Dogma 2. He just was very consistent as well. Biggest fumble was Foam Stars. He had Foam Stars in his team at negative 10 points. And he counterpicked the mainline 3D Mario platformer that did not come out.
So good for him.
0 for you, and that's what you're looking for a counter pick.
If you can get a 0 for a counter pick, you're having a great day.
Next up, we have Big Merc. So yes, he did pick Skull and Bones. Negative 10 points on that.
That's a tough one.
So that's where it comes from. Mario and Luigi Brothership, 77, and Marvel Rivals, 76.
Yeah, can we talk about Marvel Rivals Metacritic score real quick? That's wrong. I genuinely believe that if your goal as a video game is to come out and fulfill the players' needs when it comes to having great servers and a fun roster and it feels fun to play, that is beyond a 7.5 title. I don't know how you come to that conclusion. Right. It's tough for me. I would say it's a great game in 8, and that's such a weird discussion to be like, I'm at an 8. How do you get to a 7.5? It's an 8 for me, but for some people out there, it's a 10, and that's what they're playing every single moment of every day right now.
Biggest win for him was Paper Mario: The Thousand Year Door with an 89. Biggest failure, in my opinion, not even Skull and Bones, just like you could not have predicted this. Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024 76.
Yeah, didn't make any sense.
That had like a 94 for the original version, the 2019 version or whatever it was. So like for that to come out and just absolutely shit the bed is a tough bid.
Wild.
Alex the Golden was picking a lot of games that I was not very familiar with. And I was like, we'll see how this goes. But it's really worked out pretty well. He had Space Marine 2, 81. Frostpunk 2, 85. Stalker 2 with a 74. I thought that was much higher, if I'm being honest.
People didn't re-review it. Is the hard part.
Yeah.
Stalker 2 on those initial reviews, biking mess. And then the patch came out. Day 1 patch came out. A lot of people loved it a lot more. People didn't go back and re-review it. Biggest
downside for him is Starfield Shattered Space at 61 at -9 points. Disappointing that expansion did not do great. Next up, we have Shane, who had a really strong start.
Best 1-2 punch I've ever seen in any Fantasy Critic Draft ever.
So many gosh darn games, 1-2-3 punch, because he picked Animal Well with his third pick.
Oh my gosh.
So Like a Dragon, Tekken 8, and Animal Well, 90, 90, 89, great. Necrodancer didn't come out. Rivals of Ether 2 didn't come out. Monument Valley 3 didn't come out. It just killer, dude. Path of Exile did not release. It was a early access game, so that gets him 0 points. And then,
by the way that works is it needs to get scored, and there wasn't a score on it.
Well,
so
there is a score. It's 87, but it's not out. It is officially released in early access.
Okay,
that is what it is titled. That's like saying there's scores for Hades too.
Oh, I know. Those don't count?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, it needs to be a full release.
Okay.
Yeah, early access does not count. Next up, we have Straw Hat Gumby. Another solid team, just had some fumbles here. Zenless Zone 0, 76. Sucker for Love, Date to Die For, 76. Never heard of that one. Then he had some Final Fantasies up there at the top, with which the Final Fantasy expansions for this year just did not really hit in the same way that they used to. 81 for Dawn Trail, which is the worst reviewed expansion for
one of them
for Final
for
Fantasy
sure.
14, I'm pretty sure. And then you have Final Fantasy 16, The Rising Tide, 78. I could have sworn that was higher, but
tough bid.
Disappointing. Highest win here, 9 Souls, 85. -17 for counterpicking Indiana Jones.
Don't want to mess around with Indy.
Like I said, Alec had some technical issues on his end. Pacific Drive, South Park Snow Day, which is a -10. And Alone in the Dark, -6.
Yeesh.
Tough luck there for Alec McLongdon. Alrighty. So shout out to Bad a Degree. Congratulations on winning the league. We're going to get into this proper now. We're going to go. The way the draft works is you're picking games that you hope come out in 2025. You get points for the game reviewing well on OpenCritic. Every point above a 70 is a point for your team. So 77 gets you 7 points. 84 gets you 14 points. The only difference here is if it's above 90, you get double points for every point above a 90. So if it's 91, you get 2 points for that 1 point at 91.
So that would be a total of 22 points. If you got a 94, it'd be 28 points.
There you go. So you have that for the scoring. You also have a counter pick, as we just going over last year. If you pick, you get the chance to pick somebody else's game on their team that they drafted. And you have to decide what you think is going to do poorly or what you think is not going to come out. The best goal for this is to minimize your damage. The last year I picked Destiny 2, The Final Shape, I get -22 points because it reviewed very well.
Yeah.
But if you pick something like a 3D mainline Mario game and it doesn't come out, you get 0 points for that. So you want to... 0 is a good outcome. Getting a plus from a counter pick, really tough to do, but it happens.
Well, Skull and Bones. The key also of this is once you counterpick it, it locks in that pick for that team, so they cannot drop it, they cannot get away from it or trade it. It is on their team; they have to utilize it. So if I drafted a 3D Mario and somebody counterpicked it and it didn't come out, I can't drop that game. I just have a 0 on my team now.
So we are going to draft 5 games today, and then throughout the season, you fill out your roster even more with 4 more games. You have a $100 budget of fake money where you can bid on games every single week. If you bid the highest on a particular game, you get that added to your roster. You can drop games throughout the season. I think you have 3 drops for stuff that you think is not going to do well or you think just isn't going to come out. So you can drop it and pick something else up from the ones that you draft. But today we're doing 5. We're going to go snake draft
what is available, Connor? So we just discussed this. Things like Hades 2, early access. Is that available? DLCs, remastered, re-releases.
Expansions are, remakes are available. Remasters are not available. They won't show up in the system. If you try to look up something that is early access and won't fit the bill, you're drafting it with the hope that it becomes not early access in this year. So, you draft Hades, you can draft Hades 2.
Okay.
But if it gets scored, it'll say 87 or whatever it said for Path of Exile, but you will get 0 points until it has the mark of full release on it. Yes.
I feel like 82 might be a cheat code, y'all. I'm just saying for the people that are in the Discord call right now.
We'll
I'm
see
just
if
saying
it comes out this
if
year.
it does come out this year, geez Louise, that's a 90 plus.
Alrighty, let's meet our contestants. Like we said, it's me, Brady, and Nick, as well as some community members due to their support during Co-op 64 Day, as well as Batted Degree, who won the league from last year. This is the draft order that we're looking at. We have Batted Degree with the publisher BD Studios. We have Andrew with the publisher Final Fantasy Star Studios, with fantasy like the Fantasy PH Fantasy Star. We have Ali Benali with Kasumi Studios. We have Brady with Princess Brady Studios. We have Concrete with Canadian Games, eh? We have Alex the Golden with Get Good Gaming. We have Vorpal Matt with Macro Stiff Corporation. We have my team with Organization 13 Inc. Michael has Locust Studios, Big Mac with Big McDonald's Game Farm, and we have Nick with the final pick with Rebirth Studios.
We're rebirthing this team. It's going to be a new season for this squad. Coach Two Shoes is here to go and make some big plays today, Connor. It's going to be a good time.
We're getting the ship. Alrighty, well, let's get into it. We're going to start out with BD Studio. We'll go over each pick. Start drafting. Okay, once you start drafting, you can no longer add or remove players. Oh, that sounds great. Fantastic. We have begun.
Let's do it.
Batted Degree is on the clock, and he starts out with a quick one. Ghost of Yote with the first overall pick. I think it's a safe-ish bet. It's safer to release this year than other releases that you might consider picking first over that, but it's a solid pick. It doesn't have a date on it, but it's PlayStation Studios. It's Sucker Punch Games. I think Ghost of Yote is a solid first overall pick.
It's solid, but the Metacritic for Ghost of Tsushima is an 83.
Really?
Yeah.
Dude,
I knew it was low. I knew it was low. So
if I had to guess, 87 for Ghost of Tsushima.
But like, so that's the fear where it's like, okay, even if it's a step up, like this is the second go around, is it going to sit around that 85? And we're also talking about a game that's not guaranteed to come out this year. I think it's coming out this year. This is so important for PlayStation's portfolio for their year and their bottom line and all that stuff. But like, I'm just saying for a first pick, I like the pick. Don't get me wrong. I think that it is deserving of one of the first few picks in the draft for sure. PlayStation Studios, we talk about how important it is that they cannot miss. They cannot fuck this up or else it's going to be really bad on their year and their branding. So it makes sense. But just saying, Ghost of Yote, first pick. One of those games, if I was in that spot, I would not have made that pick. Just throwing that one out there.
Yeah, I don't think I would have taken a first overall, but I think it makes sense.
It's a good pick.
I don't hate it.
It's a really solid pick.
Next up from Final Fantasy Star Studios, from Andrew, we have Monster Hunter Wilds.
101.
Early in the year, guaranteed to review well, I would say, for the most part. As Capcom, they really just don't miss. It's gonna come out and it's gonna get you positive points. I think it's a great first pick.
It's my 101 on every Fantasy Critic Draft I'm doing this year, mainly because of exactly what we just said. It's going to come out this year. It is so important to draft games that are actually going to release this year and put your team forward. Like, also, this gives you time to pivot. Use your wallet in the way that you need to, because it's a February release when it comes to those Fantasy Critic bucks that you have to then get more games on your team. I am really looking forward to this one. I would say minimum 85, but we're talking potentially a 90, maybe a 91, maybe 92. It's possible.
Yep. What does World have? Ali Benali
I'm
is
gonna
on the
guess
clock.
87 or 86.
And we have the untitled next Mario Kart Switch 2. I think that is a great pick, personally. We literally talked about this earlier. That's the only Nintendo game that you can confidently, without a doubt, say that is coming in 2025. And you have to imagine it's going to review great.
90 on Open Critic for Monster Hunter World. I mean, this is one you got to feel good with. You know that 85 minimum is probably I would assume, if we think Switch is June. It's either June or July when we're going to get Mario
or it
Kart.
could be the November game. Like, could be like a holiday bundling game. But I think without a doubt, it is coming out in 2025.
Yeah, and that's, once again, we need points on the board. I love that pick. I think that that's one of those games that now that it is guaranteed, like going to be this year, basically, it feels guaranteed that it's going to be this year.
Yeah.
You got to feel good picking it. Finally, the first time ever, it's going to feel good picking a Switch 2 game.
Brady, feeling dangerous. Hopefully it pays off. He picks with the 4th overall Grand Theft Auto 6.
He's not fucking around. It's a great pick. The 3 people before him, I'll say it, cowards. Because, I mean, if you want to go and pick it, if it delivers and it comes out this year, there's no world that's below a 93.
Yeah, if you want a shot at something that is going to hit 98, this is the only game that is possible for this
There's
year.
one other.
Which one? Okay.
Yeah, there's one other. There's one other
okay.
that can hit a 96 and no.
All right. Yeah, I know why you can't tell me. That makes sense. But I have my idea what you're talking about.
Yeah.
But we'll address it once it comes
It's almost
up.
like I still am, picking.
Yes, right. Next up, we have Concrete with Canadian Games A on the board. How do you feel about GTA 6? Where do you think it's going to end up landing?
2026.
Okay.
I'm not. I'll throw this out there. I'm not going to counterpick it because I don't want to live and die by GTA 6.
Right.
I don't want to put my entire mental state on GTA 6. But maybe when you're doing a sports betting and you bet against your own team, either way you're winning.
Right.
Because either your team wins or you win your bet. And maybe I should do that with GTA 6.
Next up, we have Elden Ring Night Rain with the next pick from Concrete. And this here feels like you're picking the studio rather than the game. You're picking the pedigree of From Software. You have to imagine that even though they're trying something new here with kind of not a live service, but has multiplayer aspects, has a Fortnite-esque map that closes in on you. You're doing your different runs. You pick a character, a class, and go out and get some loot and try to do better each and every time. It has roguelike elements. You have to imagine that that's going to come out and do pretty well.
83 minimum, 94 upside.
Yeah,
And also you think it's going to come out this year from wants a game this year, it seems at this point, like it's going to be this year. Play tests are happening apparently soon and everything. Like it's going to probably be this year.
And it's an asset flip. Like it would make sense. For
and the way that those games just play, when you're talking about what is a From Software banger nowadays, they just play so fucking well. The game mechanics are so good. It feels great to swing a sword in any From game. And so I think that no matter what, you're talking 83 minimum, it's going to come out this year. It's a great pick.
Doom, The Dark Ages, another one of those games that feels like, and this is from Alex with his first pick, that feels like akin to Monster Hunter Wilds. Earlier in the year, gonna review very high. It's id. You know what you're getting? 88.
Number 2 on my board.
Okay.
It is a necessity to draft your first game. It's got to come out. You got to guarantee it's going to come out, in my opinion. Take the safety. You don't draft Christian McCaffrey anymore in the first round because you're nervous about him blowing an ACL by week 4. The draft in GTA 6 feels like that. You're drafting the potential to get a fantasy player that's going to go and well outperform everyone else, but you want guaranteed. The fact that it's a May 15th date. Fuck, if this game slips a couple months, it's still coming out this year, right? Like, you got to feel good. We just had that Dev Direct. Everyone's feeling high on Doom right now. It's a great pick.
There's another pick. Can you discuss it as I choose my next game?
Vorpal Matt, Civ 7. This is, in my opinion, the Microsoft Flight Simulator of this year. It feels like it's guaranteed money in the bank. Civ, I don't know how it does on Metacritic. I'm going to go and look that up real quick. Excuse me. It feels like it's a guaranteed money in the bank pick. Civ 6 on Metacritic has an 88. Yeah, this is like, it's going to be an 86, 88. And also, it's coming out. Like, the fact is, honestly, doing this January 26th, we don't have codes for Civ. We don't have anything like mindset on when that game's going to come out or anything. For review wise, I assume we're probably getting reviews maybe in the next couple days with the way that game works. Yeah, it's great fucking pick.
I'm going to select with my first overall pick, Like a Dragon, Pirate Yakuza in Hawaii. RGG does not miss. This game looks wacky and fun. Yeah, at its floor, 85.
Floor 83,
at
but
its
sure.
Ceiling, 90. So I'm looking for that 87 with this pick. There's other stuff that was ranked above it in the there's an internal
hype meter.
like, yes, like way that it ranks the games for you to help guide you when you're drafting. There's stuff higher on there that I'm not sure it releases, and I don't want to mess with that. So I'm just going to take the safe bet here, take that fast money, and take Like a Dragon Pirate Yakuza in Hawaii. Next up, we have Michael on the clock. What will he take with his first overall?
I don't care what Michael takes. I'm at the point where I'm really, really nervous right now because I'm like, which strategy do I go with? I kind of hope that some of the riskier picks go off the board so I can go with just a pure safe strategy with this 1-2 punch. But like, there's some tantalizing titles out there, Connor, that are some big swingers, and all of them start with Switch 2.
Yeah.
All of them do.
Scary stuff.
There's some scary stuff on the board still, but I mean, you got to feel good about where I'm at, where there is also some safety, some guaranteed games that are coming out the first half of the year. Having the Switch Direct in in April feels great. Having the Direct that we just had, State of Play, you got to assume is soon. There's a lot of goodness out there, and I'm excited about it. What the hard part, though, is with 11 teams, I'm not drafting until the 30 spot after this 1-2 punch. So it is for sure going to be very interesting.
Still waiting on that pick for Michael. We'll see what we get.
Michael is
there.
Locust Studios. Connor, who has the best team name?
Who's the best team name?
Yeah, because for me, it's Whirlpool Map by a long shot. Macro Stiff is really funny.
That's pretty good.
Said
That's
of Microsoft.
Rebirth Studios, that's a weak title, dude.
Oh, okay. Here's the thing. We got to rebirth this team, Connor. This team has gone through many phases.
You're in a rebuild?
We are in a rebuild. I'm the actually, no, he lost. I'm the Andy Reid of this league. Let's be honest. I'm the greatest gamer in Code 64. I'm Tom Brady. I'm Bill Belichick.
I'm not indulging you with this.
I'm just great. Man, the video that we shot today for the best friend quiz and the way that resulted, I'm just saying, I'm not saying I'm beefing with you, but we definitely got some sauce. Do we know if Michael is around?
I'm waiting for Brady to respond. Texted him. Don't know if we're getting that information. I can set him to auto draft.
Yeah. We'll give him a couple minutes, and if not, we will auto draft for Michael. All right, let's run through some of these picks, though, for the where are you at? So Pirate Yakuza, let's go back to that. You said 85 minimum. I don't feel great about an 85 minimum. I feel like sometimes these games don't full on swing and miss, but sometimes they aren't perfect.
Hang tight for a few. We're texting him. He's at work, but said he could draft.
Okay. Yeah, we'll go and try to respect him, especially for these first picks and everything, getting him excited about what he's doing.
Oh, we got a pick. There we go. We got Split Fiction
I
off
wanted
the
it.
board. I just don't buy it. I don't buy that this game is going to be like... I would, if I had to guess between those two games, which is going to review higher, Pirate Yakuza or Split Fiction, I would guess Pirate Yakuza.
Donut bet.
Okay, sure.
Open critic score.
Okay.
Yeah,
We'll see.
easiest donut bet in my life. Pirate Yakuza, I feel like, sure, you can do the 88. What is It Takes Two? It's like an 88, and a Way Out is an 87. You're saying
A Way
that
Out is an 87?
A Way Out Metacritic.
You need to, you wanted to check Open Critic?
Yeah, I'm just checking Meta for this sake. I know it types. Okay, it's at a 78.
Told you. If I had to guess for It Takes Two, 84.
88.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, so if this is just building more and more, like an 88, if you can get an 88 right now, I think that Yakuza games, we're talking a decently wide range. I also, here's the thing, I did see a trailer about the pirate combat in Yakuza. Looks fucking awesome.
It looks sick.
Looks
and
awesome.
People love the turn-based new gameplay of Like a Dragon, but they also do miss the stuff from the original Yakuza games that are more beat 'em up. So it's nice to have that return to form.
Connor.
Next up, we have Avowed from Big Mac. I was hoping you would fall back to me. Seemed unlikely, and of course, yep, it's a great pick. I am very confident in this game doing very well, but we will find out soon. A game that's coming out very soon in February, so we'll see. Nick, what do we got? What are we thinking? Nick is on the board, and then he gets 2 picks because it's a snake draft.
So this is the spot where you really, really need to capitalize on just what you're doing. Like you can't, if I mess up one of these picks, it's over for me. Because I'm waiting until pick 33. With that being said, I firmly at this point still believe that a unannounced 3D Mario game is going to come out.
Wow.
And
you just said that you basically wanted to minimize your potential for failure, and you just picked one of the biggest risks that you could possibly take.
Here's my reasoning. It's an 11-person draft. You need a swing. You need to swing big to go in. You need to have 1 or 2 stars on your team.
I disagree, but we'll see.
I think it's gonna be. I think the winner of this league will have at least a 90+ on their team.
You can win with consistency. We've seen it.
My
time
strategy
and time again.
initially was split fiction and the game I'm going to pick next, which would have been a 1-2 combo of safety. But I need to go and I feel good. I need to swing big. And then with my second pick, I'm going down the draft board because there's a lot of heavy hitters on the hype factor meter. I'm going down the draft board for
GTA 7.
for a more personal pick. I need a game with a release date. I need a game that I feel good is going to come out and deliver the goods. I'm selecting with my second round first pick overall, South of Midnight.
Okay.
I think that this game is guaranteed money in the bank, 83 at least. 83 at least. I don't know about upside, but I think that this game has the chance to be every single thing we want it to be. And here's the nice part, Connor. Here's the nice part. That game on art style alone and what it's trying to do, I think that the story that they're trying to tell will have some level of impact. I don't know if it's going to be like destroy my entire life. I think there's a chance it does, where like I could be crying by the end of this game. But the gameplay looks great. The stop motion looks awesome. The world design looks super unique. The soundtrack's great. I feel very, very good about my 1-2 punch, and Big Mac follows it up with
Death Stranding 2 on the beach. That's what I wanted, but there it goes. Gosh darn it. That is disappointing, but a great pick nevertheless. No release date for it yet.
But also, Death Stranding 1 didn't review exceedingly well.
But we went over this.
Yes.
We believe that people just did not know what Death Stranding was, and were disappointed that it wasn't Metal Gear Solid. So then it came out, and then every single iteration we've seen after the fact, higher review score for when it releases on Xbox, when it releases on PC. It just keeps going up and up and up. Director's cut, so on and so forth. That I believe Death Stranding 2 will review quite well.
The Odyssey.
We have Locust Studios. It's Michael up again. I'm gonna start.
Split Fiction is such a good baseline pick. I also Big Mac. I'm looking at you. I actually can see you on Discord. What's up, Big Mac? Hi, man. I need to go and shout out. I think that your base this year is so fucking good. Do you find like this? That's such a good 1-2 pick of Avowed and Death Stranding 2, where I could easily see that 1-2 punch be 85. But either of those games could hit that 87, 89, 90 level. And if you hit both of them in an 11-person draft, that's a really solid start. Speaking of 90 plus, Locust's next pick, Michael's next pick is Metal Gear Solid Delta, which, I mean, when we're talking about games that can hit in the 90s, they're remaking one of the greatest games ever, period, bar none. I feel like you got to feel good that this game is this year. We've seen so fucking much of it. So yeah, I love the pick. Metal Gear Solid Delta.
I'm risking it for the biscuit.
Are you choosing one of our most anticipated this year?
Metroid Prime 4 Beyond with my next pick. You have to imagine that this game is finally going to come out this year. They've been holding off on even showing it until it seems like they were ready to go. They show it last year. They put a 2025 year on it. It's probably a Switch 1 game, if not a Switch 2 game. You need banger titles for your new hardware and or to keep your old hardware trucking along until the new hardware comes out. Metro Prime 4 with my next pick.
The fact that there was question marks about 3D Mario this year and question marks of Metroid this year, I was like, I'll take the higher upside with 3D Mario of like getting 90 plus. I do need to ask you as the commissioner, if this 3D Mario mainline Mario platformer is Mario and Donkey Kong, whatever, and it's 3D, that counts for my pick.
Take it up with the people who run Fantasy
whoever.
Critic. I don't make the choice
that's
there.
fair.
I don't think.
That's fair.
But we might be able to do something on the back end with like me approving that. But,
but I when I choose that, I'm saying there is going to be at the Switch Direct a one more thing, and it's going to be Mario, maybe Donkey Kong's involved in it. That's what I'm drafting. I'm drafting that game.
I'm going to be perfectly honest right now. You know, you ever start a draft for fantasy football and you're like, oh man, this is going really well.
Yeah.
I feel the exact opposite right now. I don't feel great about my team at all.
I would not. I could easily see your team starting 83, 86.
Yeah, but it could go
if it comes out.
Yeah.
No, right now, I mean, Vorpal Matt is playing a very similar game where I'm like, I can see 83, 86, or I could see some big swings.
With Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 with his next pick. The way people talk about Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 confuses me.
I don't get it.
Kingdom Come Deliverance 1 has like a 73 or something, or like a 77 on Metacritic. Like, it didn't review exceedingly well, but based off of what everybody's seen, what people are saying, I think this is the next step for the studio, and it certainly could be.
It has a 72.
It has a 72.
Yeah, that's
like, I believe that it will work out. That people are not leading us astray with their excitement.
Alex Golden repping Team Green, the developer direct squad, as it will be known henceforth. Doom the Dark Ages. Let's pair it with Claire Obscure Expedition 33.
I thought about picking it. So.
I think that is a high risk play when it comes to this game. Could get like a 71. Like it could be all flash, no substance. We talk about it all the time. But what we saw, I feel very confident that this is 80 plus. And I think it's a great combination to fill out your team because guess what? April release date. Release dates fucking matter so much in this game.
There's too many instances now where a studio's first major AAA game actually turns out really well. But you do have the example of the one that I always go back to is, why am I blanking on the Dead Space type game?
Oh my gosh, what is that game called? Dead Space
Callisto
Protocol.
There we go.
Yep.
Where it looked great, all style, like had the same vibe of Dead Space that you're looking for. Ended up just kind of shitting the bed. So we'll see. But I believe in Claire Obscure. Next up from Concrete, we have Borderlands 4. I think pairing up a somewhat risky in some way title of Night Rain with a guarantee 85.
Borderlands
probably.
3 is at an 81 right now on Open Critic. I think that you're guaranteeing at least 10 points on your board and potentially up to an 88, 89 with Borderlands 4. I don't love the pick, but I just don't love Borderlands.
I like the pick personally. I think it's a safe
it's a good combo pick.
Probably coming out this year based off of us seeing it twice at this point already.
There's other games on the board that we know dates for though. That's my hard part where I'd rather pick something with a date right now than Borderlands.
He has no dates on his team currently.
Yeah.
Which I guess is risky, but I think these games are both
having dates on your team, in my opinion, is like having like your veterans on a fantasy football team.
You picked a unannounced 3D Mario game.
Connor, I think I picked a unannounced 3D Mario game back in 2021's Fantasy Critic Draft.
I think this is a solid Brady pick here. He picked Mafia: The Old Country, a game that he all of a sudden is excited about. It's linear. He's in. He's good to go for Mafia: The Old Country. He's excited.
He's choosing a Bengals player on his fantasy team. Like he's choosing someone he wants to root for. But similar for me with South of Midnight. This is the game I've been like, this is one of my most anticipated. I'm really excited about it. I'm excited to have it on my team to also, once it succeeds, I get those fucking points for too.
Right.
So
next
definitely
up,
looking forward to it.
Ali Benali on the clock.
They already got switched to Mario Kart. If you were to throw out a guess, now that we've seen it, 24 player Mario Kart, what are you at with it?
It's really tough, dude. I don't know. Like, I could see it like being lesser because of 24 players. That people are like, it's too chaotic, it's too much. Or it doesn't change up enough, and that's like the only thing that it changes. I could see that being a problem.
I think that it's going to change enough. I think that this is a 91. I think it's gonna be one of the highest review games this year.
87.
It's also one of my most anticipated games ever.
It's a racing game though. At the end of the day, too, like it's tough. But we're doubling up on the Switch. Pokemon Legends Z to A, which is funny because the first year we ever did this, we were counterpicking left and right on Pokemon Legends Arceus, and we're like, that game looks like doo-doo. That game is gonna suck. And then it came out 85 on OpenCritic. We were all like, fuck.
And I think that this is gonna be a step forward, especially if it's a Switch 2 title, which we will probably hear about in a month's time on Pokemon Day, whether it's a Switch 2 title or not.
So I think this is a good pick as well. 85 on the like as a floor, I would imagine.
I love that squad right now, Ali. I really do think that that's a great one to pick. Like because you're talking like 284s, 85s minimum, and then more like one of those games probably going to be a 90, like or an 88 around.
There's no way a Pokemon game hits a 90. What Pokemon game is above a 90?
Connor,
like the originals maybe.
Yeah,
like, that's it. Next up, we have Assassin's Creed Shadows for Andrew. I don't know where to land on this game. Like, I think above an 80 for sure. But how high can it go?
I went to the preview event, and this is one of those examples. By the way, we do not ever pick anything that we have insider baseball on. So it was really funny when I was like, when's the preview event? When's the draft? Can I talk about this? Thankfully, preview event already happened. Our impressions are up on TikTok, and I'm able to now talk about my experience with Assassin's Creed Shadows playing for 4 hours. I think it's gonna be an 81 on Metacritic at this point. Like, I think that it's going to be a great video game. I don't think it's gonna take the world by storm, but I think it's gonna be a great game. And I think a large part, I can't discuss story beats, but the prologue was really strong from a story standpoint, and I was immediately invested and interested in both of the characters. And so if they can give a story that people care about and then allow the Assassin's Creed formula to be what it is, hey, there's a shit ton of things on the map. Have fun.
Yeah.
And you get to do it in Japan this time. Like, there's something there that, like, 81, 82-ish, I think that's what we're working with. And pairing it with Monster Hunter Wilds, what you want to know those two things have, Connor? Dates. They're both early in the year.
Yeah.
I feel very good about having the. If that was my 1-2 start, I would feel rock solid with that squad.
I think Shadows needs to be great, and they know that. 85 is my guess.
Okay.
Hollow Knight Silksong and Fable from BD Studios, a back-to-back 1-2 wombo combo of games that we do not know are coming out this year, but will absolutely destroy us if they do.
I'm going to throw it out there. I feel like I went from before the developer direct that Fable was a 35% chance of coming out. Now, I would say I'm up to an 85% chance Fable comes out this year.
Yeah, I feel better about it too.
When I was at pick 11, I was like, and I saw Fable up there, I was like, I didn't compute this in my own head at this point. I think Fable's coming out this year, and I think it's fucking Playground. There's no world that it gets an 80. It's going to get at least an 82, 85, 87, maybe a 90, maybe 95.
I wonder if the expectations might hurt it. It's just been a really long time since a Fable game has been released in it. And it wasn't exactly leaving on the highest of highs, with Fable 3 being a little bit mixed for some people. And then you have the development cycle for this game being announced in
2020 is when it got announced, but it was a CG. Hey, we're just letting you guys know that that's happening.
There's a lot of hype around it.
And then the other one, Hollow Knight Silksong. I'd rather punch myself in the face than draft Hollow Knight Silksong, mainly for my mental health. That's the reasoning. Yeah. I'm not doing it because I don't believe this game. If it comes out, it's an 85 guaranteed. We're talking 90s, 91, 92, 93 area. But once again, I, for my own mental health, could not draft Hollow Knight Silksong and be on the song and dance that is the circus of this dev team, and more importantly, the marketing team behind it. I cannot understand it. It doesn't make sense to me. But if it comes out, it's a great pick.
Andrew is on the clock after picking Monster Hunter Wilds and Assassin's Creed Shadows. He's back to pick
Do you feel like we're getting to the weak stuff yet? Or do you think that there's still sauce to be had?
Well, we got Little Nightmares 3 here, which was supposed to come out last year, I believe, and now has been pushed to this year. New studio, Supermassive. Not the people who previously made the other two, but Supermassive does make great games. Until Dawn, The Quarry, rock solid. But I think it's a great pick.
The Little Nightmares 2 is an 82. I could see, sadly, like a 78 from it. Like that one blows my mind.
Which doesn't kill you, but doesn't
help move the needle.
Yeah, right.
That's a pick that I feel a lot better with. Not in the first round or in the second or third round. And the reason I know that is last year I went 77, 77, 77, 77 for like 4 straight picks. You want a little bit of higher upside in my opinion.
But people are really excited about Little Nightmares 2. Every single time we do a pre-stream, it seems like somebody's like, you excited for Little Nightmares 2?
Exactly.
In Little Nightmares, and none of us have played it. So.
And then, I mean, the other part is, you're right. This game is probably coming out this year, maybe first half this year. We're talking about 3 games that are looking at the first half of this year.
We've been talking about Xbox a lot today. The Outer Worlds 2 picked by Ali Benali, another game similar to Fable, where after the dev direct and you get those dates, you're like, this is actually probably definitely going to hit this year. It already has a 2025 year on it, which we were shocked by. I could still see it slipping. I think Fable has a better shot, maybe, than the Outer Worlds.
I do too, just because they're both avowed. Like, we're not talking about one dev team, right? Like, we're talking about 2 different dev teams compared to Obsidian, who's going in February. Maybe that game's get pushed to like February next year. I could see that being the case. Next up is Be Nasty, aka Brady Goodall, who's got GTA 6 and Mafia: The Old Country, which I'm gonna throw this out there, feels really like a Brady team.
Yeah.
Like, this has Brady sauce all over it.
Lots of upside with GTA 6, of course. Could be a league winner.
I feel like Mafia: The Old Country, if I had to throw out a guess, it would be like a 13-point getter for him, like an 83.
Ninja Gaiden Ragebound. That is not one of the Ninja Gaidens we just saw get unveiled at the Xbox Developer Direct, but a Ninja Gaiden game from the developers of the Blasphemous studio, apparently, that has a gorgeous art style.
Yep.
I'm all in on this game. I think this game looks great. I think this game is going to review great. These types of games review just really solidly, generally, and Blasphemous has reviewed really well in the past as well. So yeah, I love the pick.
This is one of those sneaky picks that makes your team. Like at the end of the year, we're going to be looking back and it's going to be like, oh, Brady, GTA 6 didn't come out, but Mafia Country got him 13 points. Ninja Gaiden Ragebound, 20 points. Like it's just one of those that like you're able to pick up because it's not as flashy and as big budget as some other games, and it can still deliver.
There's so many people in this league.
There's so many people.
I'm always like, oh, I'm almost about to pick, and I was like, I'm 4 away. Dang.
Yeah, for me, I'm 17 away. It feels like I'm just like chilling for a bit. We're just talking other people's picks for a long time with me being on the bounce back.
Concrete is on the board with Elden Ring, Night Rain, and Borderlands 4 already on the crew. Let's see where he goes next. I think he could take a swing here if he really wanted to. He's got a very confident team for games that I believe will review well and will come out this year so far.
Is there anything left in the Nintendo bucket that is even pickable at this point?
A Zelda remake?
Yeah, if you want to get crazy.
Yeah, I think it's possible. Star Fox.
Dude, I can't wait to do the betting special. I've already written 3 bets down.
Yeah.
Like there's gonna be I think that it's gonna be a very safe presentation, I'd assume. That's the other part with me picking 3D Mario. There is no way this presentation does not close out with 3D Mario.
I agree, but does it come out that year?
Connor. Yes. You're not having a first year without a major Zelda game or a major 3D Mario game. And it's also been 8 years.
Did they delay Tears of the Kingdom?
Yeah, it got delayed.
Yeah, okay.
Twice. Supposed to come out in 2021 when it first got revealed.
I can't. No way. I don't think that's right, but you might be right. You don't need to look it up. I'll take your word for it, but that sounds crazy to me. Still waiting on Concrete for that pick. We'll see where we're going next from there. Nick, how are you feeling about your team? Oh, there it goes.
Oh,
Altair, The Alchemist of Memories and the Envisioned Land. That is a game that was shown at the Nintendo Direct Partner Program back like 6 months ago. Feels like when is the release date for this bad boy? I know nothing about this series.
By
March
the way,
21st, a solid first half of the year, first third of the year pick to fill out the squad. I feel good about it. Professor Layton and the New World of Steam from Alex the Golden. That is an Alex the Golden ass pick. No release date for it, but people love them. Some Professor Layton.
Yeah.
Never played one of them. I love the style, the look of it. Level 5. I would like to
I like that
series.
people are getting in their bag to pull out the weird shit that will actually get them a shit ton of points. That is how you draft.
Sleeper 2. People really like that. Citizen Sleeper 1, I believe. People have recommended to me January 31st. That's coming right around
The previews
the
are great.
Really?
I've seen multiple people very excited about it. Shout out to Jacob Keller from MinMax getting stoked on it. Andy did a preview. I didn't watch it, but he did preview it. Yeah, apparently people are pretty high on that one. Shout out to Citizen Sleeper 2.
I got you here. I'm going to pick Rift of the Necro Dancer, another indie darling. You got Crypt of the Necro Dancer, and then you have Cadence of Hyrule that both reviewed pretty gosh darn well. I think this is another solid 80 for my team. I'll take it.
It's an 80 coming out in February. You can't ask for a lot more 30 picks into a draft.
There we go. Next up, Michael. With Split Fiction, MGS Delta, Snake Eater already on the squad. I feel pretty confident.
I'm going to start actually now looking at
2XKO drafted. I know you wanted that, Nick. I know you wanted it. I thought about picking it. I love to see it. Nick and I both think this is going to review extremely well. Let's see what Big Mac takes from me this time.
Yeah, Big Mac, be good to me, buddy. I'm looking at you, man. Don't look. Hey, I'm looking at you. Don't mess with me, bro. Don't mess with me.
Judas, why? How is it that far down the board? How is it that far down the board?
I am so damn upset. Big Mac, you fucked with me, okay? We had a video. So Connor and I are in the other room and we're talking through, hey, what's most anticipated? And I'm like, you can choose between Mario Kart 9 for me, Judas, and Monster Hunter Wilds for my most anticipated on the year. And this was going to be the moment that I had the whole spiel planned where I get to be like, well, it's one of my most anticipated, so I'm going to be rooting for it. So even if it doesn't come out, I still am rooting for it. And you took it from me, you jerk. Oh my gosh.
So where are we pivoting to, Nick? What are we taking to fill out the squad after your darlings, 2X?
Yeah, literally, those are two of my ass games. Like, you're fucking with me. Oh my gosh, there's a lot of you guys are mean. I don't want to go back to the wave of Xbox or Nintendo. This is where most people got to get really weird.
Pick fair games, Nick. Just like you pick Concord. Do it for the people. For continuity.
No. With my next pick, dude, Meaning the Hollower is just such a nasty, gross game right now.
Why do you say that?
Just because it's another game that I'm like, it totally can get delayed out of this year. It was
supposed to come out last year.
Exactly.
It was one of those situations. It feels like Hollow Knight at this point.
I'm gonna take points. I'm taking points on the board, in my opinion.
Put it on the board. What are we taking?
Ninja Gaiden 4.
Okay.
Ninja Gaiden 4, I feel like, is like an 82.
No date.
No date, but it's fall.
Okay.
But I'm saying fall 2025 makes me be like, okay, like maybe it gets pushed to winter. And they're also not on anyone else's timeline. They're not like trying to work with Xbox or through something else.
Right.
I could easily see this be an October title. Hey, let's hang out. Let's play some Ninja Gaiden. The fact that it's 4 also makes me feel pretty good. I feel like the Ragebound is the other one, right?
Yep. I would bet dollars to donuts Ragebound reviews better.
Yes, that's what I was about to say. I think that totally it's going to review better. And then, Connor, I'm looking at it. I thought about it, and I'm going to pick it. Where there's smoke, there is fire. I'm going to choose with my next pick, unannounced Elder Scrolls Oblivion remake.
Okay. I like it.
Oh, it's one of the greatest games ever. It's going to get...
I like that.
I think it comes out this June. I think that it's shadow dropped at the Xbox Showcase.
I could see that.
Yep.
I like that pick.
Yeah, hey, it's on Game Pass right now. It's everywhere. It's on Game Pass right now. If you want to play the best place, basically pick it up for free basically right now. Boom. Here you go.
I think this will sell very well for Xbox and for PlayStation and for everybody who gets access to this game. That this game is going to be huge.
So I have Safety with Team Green between Ninja Gaiden, which was just shown as Xbox published, South of Midnight, and then I got the big swings of 3D Mario and Oblivion remake.
Big Mac picks up Killing Floor 3, slated for March 2025, a series that I've never touched. I've heard a lot of people talk about Killing Floor 2. It's one of those games that I think a lot of people just play over and over and over again. And I don't know anything about it.
Can I just tell Michael in the nicest way possible, I don't actually mean any offense to this, fuck you, because that's my team. He drafted my team. He drafted Split Fiction, Metal Gear Solid, Snake Eater, and 2XKO. That's my team.
Dragon Quest 1 and 2 HD 2D remake with the next pick. Another safe pick for Michael, I believe. The only thing that I would say is that Dragon Quest 3, obviously the evolution of 1 and 2, that I think Dragon Quest 3 reviews better than 1 and 2 just naturally. So I think this goes down in score just because they're worse games. It's a Resident Evil 2 remake to Resident Evil 3 remake type of situation where I think Resident Evil 2 is just a better video game. So when you remake 3, it's like, of course, it's going to be a little bit of a step down.
Yeah, and the remake for that is at an 85 right now on Open Critic. I could easily see 81. And once again, you have the games that can go and put up 88. You have Snake Eater that could put up a 95. Snake Eater has a chance to be a 96. Not saying it's going to be, but it has a chance to be. And then you have your Safety. I like it. Oh my gosh.
He's
Connor,
done it, ladies and gentlemen.
You are fucking around, and you're going to probably find out in a month.
Resident Evil 9. Where there's smoke, there's fire. It's Leon, apparently. People are talking about this game. It exists. PlayStation State of Play. They love showing Resident Evil games at State of Plays. There was rumors of it being at Game Awards. Here we go. We're going to hear about this game soon. They never had big lead-ups for Resident Evil games. It's announcements and then 6 months maximum. 8 months? Okay. Well, still, I'll take it.
Yeah,
October game for sure.
You have one shot, one opportunity, and it is State of Play in February. If this does not show up in State of Play February, you're fucked.
Okay.
But it very well could.
Yes.
There's a good chance.
Monster Hunter early this year. Resident Evil 9 to close it out. They like having 2 in a year. Capcom usually does.
Well, guess what? You say they like having 2 in 1 year. I'm going to disagree with you and talk about they like having 2 or they like having at least one banger on their books every year. And you get Monster Hunter on this year's books, and you get Resident Evil on next year's books.
Because
my fear is Resident Evil has very often been a spring game recently. RE8 spring game, RE4 spring game, RE3 spring game. I'm talking about the remakes, obviously.
Yes, I think it's just a matter of like how things play out. I don't think they really give that much of a shit about. But your spring game for Capcom for this year is Monster Hunter.
So, I'm talking about spring 2026. I could easily see this getting announced in summer, being spring 2026. Yeah, but once again, Connor, we're here. We're swinging. Okay, we're not boring. All right. Everyone's like, oh, they're going to be safe. They talk about safety all the time. 3D Mario, Resident Evil 9, Oblivion remake.
I just really didn't love a lot of what was on the board there. Where I was like, this is going to really.
Me to the Hollower, I think, is a safer pick, and also like a. But like no one wants to hear me say Me to the Hollower. Not just shout out that team. That's a great pick.
I just did a really safe pick with Rift of the Necrodancer. Like
that's such a safe pick.
That's like the same thing as Mina, where at least that has a
has a release date. Yeah. That's the issue. Where it's like if we're talking question marks, might as well have some fun.
Next up from Vorpal Matt from Macro Stiff Studios, we have Wanderstop. Oh, I remember seeing this game. Where did we see this game? Was this? This is from the same. I know one of their other games, but I don't remember the name of it off the top of my head. But yeah, indie game, March 11th, coming out soon.
Dates, dude. Yep. Vorpal Matt is Vorpal Dates right now. Every single one of his games are coming out in the first quarter. Yeah. In the first quarter.
That's wild. That's crazy.
That's how you do it.
Exactly how the rest of his team it needs to adjust very quickly.
And that's a great strategy.
I don't mind it.
Shout out to Alex Golden with their next pick, Revenge of the Savage Planet. Never seen this one. This also just clicking on the
I've heard of this.
On the cover art. It's an Alex the Golden Ass game. It is such an Alex the Golden Ass game. It's gonna be a lot of fun.
What do you think this is? A survival game? Get in the comments.
I do need to start to consider my counter pick. Because I'm first up to go with counter picks. There's a lot of interesting titles out there. Oh man. You know it's bad when you look at you're going through and you're like, oh, that's not a bad counter pick, and then you realize it's on your own team.
That's brutal.
Damn. I want everyone to counter pick my shit.
We're rounding the corner here. Adamfall with Concrete's next game, another Xbox. I think they're just doing the marketing for it because I know it shows up at most Xbox events.
Yeah.
I think people recently got to play this.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure exactly where they fell on it. But March 27th, early in the year, another safe bet for at least a release.
I like Concrete Squad more than Here's the thing. Night Rain is probably like if you had to dial in like all the factors when you're predicting the score and it like because I feel like we're both on the lower end of like, oh, it's probably gonna be high 80s, mid 80s, but like at the end of the day, are we really predicting that From Software is going to come out with a 80 something that starts with an 8? I feel like that's fool's gold. Like that's a bold spot to be, and I just don't see it.
That's fair. I understand the perspective there for sure. Brady is up on the board. GTA,
this is where
Mafia,
I assume Brady is in the call right now, and it says, I don't know, someone tell me something.
Pick the highest ranked
available
player. Yes, for sure. So we'll see where he goes here. We're rounding the corner almost, where we have a few more picks in the fourth round, and then we're blazing to the end of this. I don't really feel like anybody's pulled away at this point. Except for me, of course, because I got the best squad rolling. I have no risk with Metroid Prime 4 and Resident Evil 9 on my team.
I think I have the most risk on my team, but also the both games are very likely to come out. All my games, I feel like, are leaning likely to come out. What's more likely to come out this year, GTA 6 or Mainline Mario?
Mainline Mario.
By a country mile, right? Like, what's more likely to come out this year, Mainline Mario, Resident Evil 9? The answer is Mainline Mario.
They are equal.
No, the answer is Mainline Mario.
They are equal.
Connor, the answer is Mainline Mario.
They're very close.
Sure.
I understand why you're saying that.
Because you can't. Capcom has something on their books this year. I can see that game slipping in the spring. I don't see Mainline Mario slipping in the spring. I either think that there's a world that it's just a Donkey Kong game and Mario's not in it, and
that would be hilarious.
But guess what? That game is this year. I think that's more likely than it not coming out this year.
Brady has picked Fatal Fury, City of the Wolves, the return of the Fatal Fury franchise. Nice art style, tight gameplay. We played it at SGF. It was fun. I don't really have much of a take just because I'm not a big fighting game guy. But I think people are hot on it.
I think that this might be the steal of the draft, Connor. Like, this is one of those, if you're trying to go and compete in the fighting game genre right now, you have no space to be all right. This game is either a 70 or it's an 89. I think it's gonna be an 87, 89.
I think you could say that about a lot of genres where it's like really oversaturated and you can't put out something that's less than, but people just try anyways and put out.
But Fatal Fury is not normally like looked at as less than. I mean, like, it's one of the big. Yeah,
I'm not saying franchise wise. I'm just saying generally speaking, you're trying to break back into a genre that is pretty saturated at this point, that fighting games like have their big players, and it's similar to Battle Royale where you have Apex, you have Fortnite, you have Warzone. Every single time somebody tries to do a live service game, they're just like, it's just hard to get back into that space. Similarly with fighting games, you have Mortal Kombat, you have Street Fighter, you have Tekken. Like, it's hard to imagine something else coming and taking any of those, or at least standing next to those big dogs.
You want to know who is? 2XKO. That's the answer this year. It's going to be 2XKO. They're going to release a game. It's going to get a 90 on Metacritic. Who picked that? Locus?
Outer Worlds. Oh, sorry. I just was reading Allie's team. Next up, we have Lost Records, Bloom and Rage, the game from Don't Nod, the studio behind Life is Strange. Seems like some sort of spiritual successor, similar type of game for Allie's team. Allie loves her some Life is Strange, so it makes sense that they want another team.
74 to 86 on this one.
I have no clue.
That's I think it could go in many different ways. I think that's gonna be good. Don't Not makes good games, but I don't think that it's gonna like take the world over. But you want to know what the nice part is? The middle of that range that it's out there was like an 80, and honestly, getting an 80 on your team this deep that has a release date, 80s with release dates are better than 85s without release dates. For draft day. I'm just throwing it out there. Like, if you can get guaranteed points and feel good about that, to be able to pivot, take some bigger swings, it's important.
On the board right now, Chained Echoes, Ash of Elrant with Andrew's squad, his fourth pick. It's an expansion to a game that's already come out. I remember hearing about Chained Echoes, but I've never played it myself. Q2 2025, so we're looking at the first half. Not a bad pick. Then BD Studios taking some safe 1-2 punch with a couple expansions: Sea of Stars, Throes of the Watchmaker, and Dave the Diver in the Jungle, back to back to fill out his crew.
Those are the Watchmakers in 82. Like, it's going to be Sea of Stars, but a little bit worse reviewed, I assume.
It feels like expansions just don't get the same treatment that a full release does. That even if it's great, it needs to be excellent to review well. You know what I mean? So we'll see. But I think they're both solid picks. Good to fill out the crew with some expansions for sure.
So with that, BD, do you want to do this now of reading through full squads as we finish out each team? BD Studios is Ghost of Yotape, Hollow Knight Silksong, Babel, Sea of Stars, Throes of the Watchmaker, and then Dave the Diver in the Jungle. And their counter pick we will learn at the very end of this entire thing.
Well, we're waiting on Andrew to get his final pick in. Mina the Hollower. I think the fact that it fell to you at 5 is a shame. I think it could have easily gone a lot sooner. I could have picked it in the 3rd round.
I made a joke about it. I wasn't actually. I was just trying to do it as a bit. I think that this game is going to review very well, and I expect greatness from this team. The question is, does it actually come out this year?
It is Hollow Knight Light. Yeah. Where it's like you just don't trust the fact that it's going to come out. It's been like pushed so many times at this point that like you just can't feel confident in it.
If it comes out, it's probably going to be great. If it doesn't, I wouldn't be shocked.
But I at this point, I would be shocked if it didn't come out.
Then why did you pick it over RE9, Connor?
Because I feel very confident that RE9 is going to review better than Mina the Hollower.
What? I could see a world that Mina the Hollower reviews better than it. It's more the question of does it come out?
They'll both be great. Yeah. It'll be close for sure.
I need the people to know how much I'm going to be rooting for an Oblivion remake, even though I have no stake in Oblivion remake at all. That game has no interest to me, but now I'm going to be rooting for it now. Oh my gosh.
Let me read the team real fast. Andrew with Monster Hunter Wilds, Assassin's Creed Shadows, Little Nightmares 3, Chained Echoes, Ashes of Elrant, and Mina the Hollower. I think it is a very tight squad, very solid crew. Nick, read it off.
The latest pick from Ali Benali is Persona 6, aka my counter pick. Their full squad is Untitled Next Mario Kart game, Pokemon Legends, The Outer Worlds 2, Lost Records, Bloom and Rage, and Persona 6.
You got to believe in something. You know what I mean?
I love it. I love the idea that we can throw it out there and there's a chance. My issue with it is where can it show up at this point that it has a release date this year? Where can it show up that it comes out this year?
No
There's
clue.
two answers, Connor. There's
PlayStation State of Play?
I think State of Play is probably not happening.
Or could it, you think Switch 2?
I would say Switch 2. I would say PlayStation Showcase in May if it's possible.
Right.
I don't think that's possible. And so then because I could also see it showing up for Xbox Showcase this year.
Mm-hmm.
It's not coming out this year if it's Xbox Showcase. So I unless somebody like picks Mario Kart 19, I'm picking Persona 6 as my counter pick.
Brady, with his final pick, picked Date Everything. Brady definitely has no clue what this fucking game is. I don't even know what this is, but he probably thought it sounded funny and interesting, so he's like, let's do it.
Brady,
catchy title for sure. It's like, what is this game about?
Brady, let's have a few beers and date everything, my friend. Let's have a good time. But more importantly, Connor, comes out on Valentine's Day.
Yes, checks out.
And it's soon. It's
GTA
soon.
6, Mafia the Old Country, Ninja Gaiden Ragebound, Fatal Fury, and Date Everything on Brady's crew.
I do want to throw this out there. I do think Ali's team outside of Persona 6, phenomenal. Because I don't want to dunk on it too much.
Nick,
phenomenal
can
team.
you hit the read down for Concrete, top top to bottom?
Elden Ring, Night Rain, Borderlands 4, Altair, Unima.
Atelier.
Yep, nailed it. The Alchemist of Memories and The Envisioned Land, Adamfall, and Dying Light the Beast. I really like the Dying Light the Beast pick here because I think that it's Dying Light but less bloated.
Safe. I think
It's safe.
safe
78, 82.
Get Good Gaming, Alex, Doom the Dark Ages, Claire Obscura Expedition 33, Professor Layton and the New World of Steam, Revenge of the Savage Planet, and the House of the Dead 2 remake. I feel like that is a safe pick as well. It's already a beloved title. You're getting a remake of it in 2025. I feel good about that.
And then Macro Stiff Corporation's Vorpal Mat Squad is Sid Meier's Civ 7, Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, Citizen Sleeper 2, Wander Stop, and now Demon School to close it out. I don't know about Demon School, but it's apparently Q1 this year. Q1, I don't know what the board's looking like right now, but I'm picking something that's coming out this year. That's where I'm at. I need some points on my team because I have too many question marks out elsewhere. Connor is searching his team as of right now. Wait, do you want to read your own team, Moff?
Yeah, sure, I will.
Yeah.
But I'm picking something here for my final pick. Half-Life 3 unannounced. Interesting.
Remember when the first news story of the year for us was Half-Life 3 rumors? I feel a lot less good about that now. Even through one announcement event, I'm like, yeah, still not happening.
This is tough. We are in a tough spot right now. Ooh, The Wolf Among Us 2. That's interesting.
I will say your first three picks, in my opinion, are guaranteed points.
Yeah.
Guaranteed points. And I do think Metroid Prime is this year for sure.
I don't want to be boring and pick something that's like
safe.
Super safe, yeah. But I also want to pick something that I'm excited about.
Resident Evil 9 was such a good pick. I'm going to ask you off content, and you're going to maybe die with this as a secret. But was the Resident Evil 9 pick for just content? We'll see.
No, I
think?
I think it comes out. I'll fucking do this. This is a Mina the Hollow or Hollow Knight Silk Song type of pick. What do you think it is, Nick? Off the top of your head, indie game that just won't fucking come out that we've been talking about for a very long time.
Deltarune full release.
Replaced.
Oh, I mean, people got to play it last year.
Yes, it has to come out this year, and it looks so cool. Like, I want to play it. I think I've drafted it for 3 years straight. Yep.
For you, yeah.
So let's go. We'll do it again.
If you do it again, I'm gonna freak out. So do it again. We're down to my team. I mean Michael's team. Split Fiction, Metal Gear Solid Snake Eater, 2 XKO, Dragon Quest 1 and 2.
A solid team.
It is. This is a championship winning formula.
Yeah.
Like, this team might be better than my team when it's all said and done.
This feels like a Shane team from last year. Where like the
So,
start is really
I
strong.
really wanted to start Split Fiction and South of Midnight because I'm like, those are both 85s in my opinion and like good to go.
I'm glad this year that I can counter pick relatively early, as in comparison to last year. I was the last counter pick, and that's how I ended up with Destiny 2 in the final shape. The first Berserker Kazan, people be loving this early access game. At this point, it's supposed to come out this year. I think it's a
March 27th release date.
Okay, damn.
Clicked on it. That is
Great pick.
a
Ben
phenomenal
Starr.
pick. I 7 points at least. You know, like
Yes.
it's an all right. It's one of those that's not blowing up the world,
It's
but
just
it's all right.
It's going to get compared to other Souls games.
Yep,
And that's the toughest part for releasing a Souls like in 2025 or just in general at this point.
Let's talk about Big Mac's team, aka the man who's dead to me after picking Judas.
You just read all of his,
Yes, I did.
his team. My team is Like a Dragon, Pirate Yakuza in Hawaii, Metroid Prime 4, Rift of the Necrodancer, Resident Evil 9, and Replaced. I do not feel good about my team at all.
Talk about games that won't release this year. Big Mac's final pick with a team that is led by Avowed.
Yeah, baby!
With a team that is led by Avowed, Death Stranding 2, Judas, Killing Floor 3. The final pick is The Wolf Among Us 2.
Let's go! It made it in my top 10 most anticipated games for this year because I just need to believe it's coming out. It has to be coming out this year, please.
You got to believe in something.
I need to see more from Big B Wolf.
Oh man, there is some gross. We're on 55 because Worry Day. Apparently, they're trying to target this year.
Dude, I hope they do not come out this year. Just because that is too many games for one first party in 1 year. I do not care if you're Xbox, PlayStation, or Nintendo. Fucking 9 games or whatever it is in 1 year is crazy talk.
We could get weird and go with an unannounced mainline Animal Crossing game.
That would be awesome. Imagine it's Mario Kart, Mario 3D Mario, Zelda remake, Animal Crossing, Metroid Prime, Pokemon Z.
I'm going to go with a game that I got excited about. This is another one that I'm rooting for it. I want the tears to be coming out of my eyes when it's all said and done. I'm going to draft Mixtape with my final pick.
Okay.
The game we saw at the Xbox Showcase last year. Looks great. Awesome soundtrack. This is one that I actually want to play. And so when we're doing the dance of like, do I go and actually pick something that I think will get points or come out? There's a chance that Mixtape doesn't come out, but I do think it will.
Very Life is Strange-esque. We have our different genres. We have roguelikes. We have Souls-likes. Now we have Life is Strange-likes with Mixtape.
So,
and what was the other one that was picked earlier that is from Don't Nod? Just like a similar...
Bloom. Something Bloom. Rage and Bloom.
Yeah,
is it Rage and Bloom?
It sounds right. It's not Date Everything. It is Lost Records, Bloom and Rage.
Bloom and Rage. Yep. All right, my team is unannounced 3D Mario games, South of Midnight, Ninja Gaiden 4, unannounced Elder Scrolls Oblivion remake mixtape, and my counterpick is Persona 6.
You're saying unannounced twice on your team. You're probably not going to be looking good.
I feel like both of the. I feel better about the 3D Mario game, and like the reason that I'm okay with it being my first pick is it has to happen. Like the fact that we saw Mario Kart and not 3D Mario, I think the reason behind it is April 2nd, we're going to start out. There's going to be the music going. It's going to be Mario Kart 9. And we're all going to lose our shit. And then the closing, the one more thing, is either going to be 3D Mario or if they do a double one more thing, Zelda.
Yeah,
but
you can announce Zelda at this point.
But the issue with Zelda is if there is Zelda as one more thing, we'll see Mario in the middle of it. We'll see, we will see Mario. If we go through that entire demonstration and they come out with Mario Kart 9, Metroid Prime 4, Animal Crossing, Zelda Ocarina of Time remake, and there's no Mario, I still will at the end of it be like, that was not, where is Mario? Like there will be some level of me being upset. Persona 6 being my counter pick, by the way. There's just no fucking way. I want to believe. Connor, I would love to be wrong. That would be sick.
Big Mac with a risk here, I believe. Hollow Knight Silk Song. It's something that it's either 0 or -27.
I mean, mine's 0 or -27 also, but it's gonna be -20 or it's gonna be 0 because it's not coming out this year. Hollow Knight. By the way, if that press release did not come out, I would be like, you can't counterpick Hollow Knight this year. You can't do it. It's too much of a risk. After that press release, I'm like, this game might never come out. Come on.
It's happening. We're working on it. Thanks, buddy.
Oh my gosh. Work is being done actively on it.
What an update. Michael is up for the counter pick.
Two Shoes Stacking Studios. Yep. Apparently, Chad, I am Michael. I've been taking all these picks for him.
This could be make or break for him because I think he's at a
phenomenal team.
Perfect squad at this point.
I think that this is the best draft you can possibly have. An 11-person team.
Yeah, especially this deep into the pick roster or whatever.
Yeah.
He's like 8th. Or,
he's ninth. Like your 9th pick, and you are still able to go and have heavy hitters. And 2xKO, I think, is the steal of the draft. That's my whole my whole strategy, dude. I was gonna go split Fiction and South of Midnight and follow it up with some 2x KO. I was so excited. I was dreaming of this shit last night, and then surely enough, it failed on me.
I got a text from Brady. Nick's team is trash. Nikki last place. We texted him. Just a good update for you.
Thanks, Brady.
I can hear them laughing in the Discord call. Does Michael know that he needs to counter pick? Are we aware of this?
Yeah, is Michael on comms for our people? Brady, can you let us know that? Thank you. I see you picking up your phone. And what do we do if he can't counter pick? Will you and I come to some conclusion?
I think it would just auto counter pick for him. But I would have to have you do it because I pick next.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Or have the crew do it, the people watching.
Nah, let me. I mean, it's my second studio, so there's a chance and everything.
We texted him. Oh, we texted him as in we texted Michael.
Oh, okay, nice.
Have we gotten a word back, Brady? I guess would be the follow-up question.
Yeah. Let's talk about Big Mac's team real quick. I just need to give this man some credit because last year he stepped up to the plate and he shit the bed.
We got to pick.
And then this year he did a great job.
Ghost of Yote with the counter pick from Michael. The first overall pick has been counter picked.
Michael, I do think you sadly just picked up your team and threw it out the fucking window, dude. I love the gumption, but you're banking on that game not coming out this year. Actually, maybe let's take it back a little bit. 83 on Open Critic. There's a chance that this comes out in reviews like an 83 and it's not that bad, not that detrimental to your squad. If it's as good as Ghost of Tsushima and it got an 83, but it's Sucker Punch. I just like this game's getting, if it comes out, I assume 87 is what we're talking about, maybe 90s. It's a bold counter pick, but yeah, there's other talent on the board that I think is either not going to come out or not be as good. I just sort of don't know what the reasoning is on this one. You know what I'm saying, Connor?
Yeah, I got you.
You're making a counter pick
currently.
Is there any? Where is your head at, Connor? You can throw out a couple names. It's not going to affect us anymore.
Well, people,
I mean, there's people listening, but it's like we're fine. Make good content out of it, you know.
Your team has. I don't feel good about picking anything on your team.
Oh,
I could go Wolf Among Us 2, but I don't want to bet against something that I want to see happen. Michael's team is not pickable. Can I pick Resident Evil 9 for my own team?
Someone should pick Resident Evil 9.
I know nothing about Wanderstop and Demon School, but I feel like
Purple Matt knows what he's doing.
I can't risk that.
I feel like Wanderstop is not a bad counter pick.
Oh.
It's magic. You know, believe
I'm thinking Professor Layton maybe because it doesn't have a date, and there wasn't really any indication that it was coming anytime soon. I'm gonna pick Adamfall.
Oh, I don't mind the pick.
There was enough people who played it and said that they did not feel great about it when there was that Xbox event back towards SGF where they played a bunch of games. You know what I mean?
Was it SGF or was it Gamescom?
It was Gamescom.
Yeah.
Yes, that's what it was. Where people were like, "This game's good. This game's good. This game," and then they're like, "But Adamfall," and they're like, "Okay."
I'm curious to see if they do another Gamescom in LA.
But this is early in the year, so
yeah,
I'll find out fast if I'm screwed.
It was same with Destiny last year. You're like, I'll know fast, and then you got shit on.
Just don't be a fucking 90 Adamfall, please, for the love of God.
No, please be a 90. I like cool video games. Come on, Connor. Come on. It is now up to Vorpal Matt.
I feel like last year when we did this, we barely hit over an hour, and it was like a very quick podcast. We're at an hour and 20 something right now.
We have 20 more picks happening, or no, 15 more picks, something like that.
What do you mean?
We have two new teams added to it, so that's 10 picks right there.
Oh, was it 9 people last year? That was 10.
No, it's 9.
Oh, interesting.
And then also, I think that this year is a little bit more interesting.
Resident Evil 9 counter pick. I'll accept it.
You want the challenge?
Yeah.
You say come at me.
Let's do it.
Because also,
let's
if
dance, Vorpal,
but guess what, Connor? That's not locked on your fucking team, bozo. So
fuck.
Yeah,
I'm fine with it.
Yeah, because there's a good chance that you want to eject out of it for sure. But now here you are, Alex Golden. I want to throw it out there. I don't fully understand all the rest of the games on his list, but starting out with Doom the Dark Age and Claire Obscure, good job, dude. I like that squad.
This is a Hollow Knight pick. We got GTA 6 counter picks. I'll put my stake in the ground here. There's no way this game is coming out this year.
I completely agree. I don't think it's coming out this year, but
if it does, he's fucked.
You're fucked.
What would that be, like negative?
It's like negative 37 points.
Yeah, probably. Can it even be an odd number?
Yeah, they do 0.5s.
Okay, yeah.
Yep, they're like on their back end where it's like if it's a 92.4, it will go and be it'll give you the extra point. Because I had a weird one with one of my games from last year. Like Ben 4 was a 93, but it only gave me 23 points or 22 points, 25 total points. Yeah,
Concrete.
There we go.
Picking unannounced Elder Scrolls Oblivion remake.
Here's the thing. Once again, when you're talking insider baseball and everything, I don't know anything except for gaming leaks and rumors. And the amount of fucking times that this has been brought up.
Is it this year though?
I think it's this summer.
I'm just saying we don't know.
No, but people before, like the timeline and the fact that people are saying that this game exists, people were saying June for this game. Like people think that this game exists and it's June. So let's say it gets announced in Summer Showcase. I can see Summer Showcase in Gang Shadow Drop that day. And if it does, what does it review except for an 85 at least?
Brady with the counter pick on the board, making his decision.
By the way, Brady, if you're talking shit, counter pick me. Bozo, I'm looking at you right now. Come after me, Brady. If you're talking shit, come at my team. Do you have the gumption to counterpick 3D Mario? Do you have the gumption, my friend, to go in and counterpick something like South of Midnight, Ninja Gaiden 4? Come at me.
Dog.
Dogs. 4 touchdowns against Southside last year. Dog. That is probably my favorite video on the entire internet.
Yeah.
That man is hysterical. And then it's me hyping up my boys to my girlfriend's friend group and everything. Dog. It's great. Come on, Brady. Are you going to just be a coward? Are you just going to go and sit aside? Well, I am here. You're talking shit, and now you're going to go and pick something on Big Mac's team? Come at me, dude.
We'll see what he ends up
I'm just
choosing.
saying. And then who else is? Ali doesn't talk too much crap.
Assassin's Creed Shadows. I don't think it'll kill you, but it could hurt.
I think it's going to hurt. I think it's at 82, 83. And
Yes.
When you see an 83, it's like, But it's also, you could have taken a bigger risk and chosen something that potentially won't come out.
Right.
Like
Ali?
Persona 6. Ali, you got a great squad. Except for Persona 6. Once again, if it comes out, I am fucked. Yeah. I am straight up fucked.
What year do you think Persona 6 ends up coming out?
2026 at the earliest, maybe 2027.
I could see it being like as late as 2028.
Wolf Among Us 2 is their counter pick.
I think that's a solid pick.
Great counter pick.
I think that's like one of the games that you could almost, if I had to place money on it not coming out this year, I would feel comfortable doing that. But I don't want to do that because I want it to come out.
I would love to do a list of the games that were drafted and what's the most likely to not come out this year.
Yeah.
But that's a sad conversation. You know,
Right.
These things that we love and are excited about not coming out. Next up is Andrew. We only have 2 teams left. Andrew, I know you're in that Discord call. Are you a coward? Andrew's just catching strays now. Someone pick something else on my team. I want you to feel the pain. Okay, Andrew, come after me.
He's got a pretty solid squad as well with Monster Hunter Wilds, Assassin's Creed Shadows. He picked Borderlands 4. Similar. Oh, no. Sorry. He picked Dying Light the Beast.
Honestly, Andrew, I thought for some reason it was on your team, but that's a good counter pick.
And then BD picked Borderlands 4, which I think are essentially, in my head, when it comes to counter picks, the exact same game.
Yeah.
Well, Borderlands 4 has a chance of not coming out this year.
But also has higher upside than Dying Light the Beast.
I think
Dying Light the Beast.
they have the same amount
Borderlands
of upside.
4 can be an 87. I don't think Dying Light the Beast is going to be an 87.
Okay.
Yeah, that's where I'm at. We're
think
talking like
it's
a couple
possible.
points. And then I think their floors are the same. I think we're talking like a 77 on both sides, 75 on both sides. Sure.
Alrighty.
Oh my gosh.
That was your Fantasy Critic Draft for 2025.
For the people in the Discord call, thank you so much for joining us. Everyone did a great job. Legitimately, I think that this was by far a step up from last year across the board with some of the picks. I think that everyone dialed it in, did some great research. Great job. And thank you so much for joining us to be able to do that. We still have a draft that we have to do, but it's a lot of fun. Connor,
You're in the first pick in this draft.
I really wish more people came after me.
Yeah.
Because I
Nick
feel
wants the
great
smoke.
with. I want the smoke. Brady cowarding out. The fact that nobody counterpicked 3D Mario makes me feel amazing. By the way, because I think that we're all on the same wavelength. And me getting, if we all think that 3D Mario is coming out this year, it should have gone as the number 2 pick.
Yeah, I don't hate the logic, but I'm afraid. All right, Nick, let's do the draft.
Oh, I'm introing it and having the first pick. Oh, damn! I thought that you were gonna say I'm introing it.
So awkward.
You and I didn't know he was introing.
That was so funny.
Today we are drafting the best consoles, and we're not doing it by look as we've done previously. We're doing the best console libraries. And with my first pick, Connor knows what I'm choosing every single day. Psych, I'm choosing the PS2.
Yes.
It's too deep, Connor. You have the greatness of the GTAs and the Metal Gears. You have the wide breadth of third-party fun with the sports games. The PS2 is undefeated. The PS2 is sauced up. And the PS2 is my first pick.
Damn.
You thought I was going to go PS4.
With my first pick, I'm going to pick the PlayStation 1. I think this has the best RPG, JRPG catalog of any console ever. And then on top of that, you have stuff like Metal Gear Solid, Castlevania Symphony of the Night, Resident Evil 2 and 1 through 3. You have Spyro, you have Crash, you have Siphon Filter. And then when you talk about those JRPGs, you have Valkyrie Profile, you have Final Fantasy Tactics, Final Fantasy 7 through 9, you like Wild Arms, Xenogears, like it's crazy. I think personally, I think the PS1 has higher highs and just as much depth as the PS2, but I know a lot of people don't agree with me. PS1 with my first pick, and I'm just going to take it from Nick because I know he wants it. I have something ranked ahead of it, but I'll take the PS4 just to play the board. We're going to go with the PS4 because of the exclusives: God of War, Uncharted 4, The Last of Us Part 2, Ghost of Tsushima, Days Gone, Horizon. Come on, PS4. Goddamn great.
You gave me the second best library of games. With my second pick, I'm choosing the Nintendo Switch.
That's fine.
It is the second best library of games in all of video games. And like, the exclusive lineup is insane. It's the indie machine. It's just got it all. And that it's got to be my second pick. With my third pick, I'm choosing a system that I don't have a ton of experience with, but it's one of the greatest systems of all time. The SNES.
Damn it! I thought I could get it on the turn. What the fuck?
Connor,
my
eat a
God.
butt. SNES, third pick.
Okay. With
Connor, I might have fucked up intro in this draft, but I dialed it in ever since we got it started. PS2, SNES, and Switch? Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me?
With my third pick, I'm going to go with the Nintendo GameCube. It's squarical. It's got great games across the board: Mario Sunshine, Luigi's Mansion, SSX Tricky, Melee, Double Dash. It's awesome, and it's a square box and it has a handle on it. So what more could you possibly want? And then I'm gonna put some respect on the OGs here, the console that saved video games as we know it today, but also just has a stellar catalog to boot. The NES. Still fantastic to play. These platformers, mostly side scrollers, feel great. Castlevania, Ninja Gaiden, the Mario trilogy, Contra. Like, come on, man.
What are you, 97 years old?
I'm gonna get destroyed in the comments, but I'm comfortable with it. That's
because your team's so much worse than mine.
Right.
With my fourth pick, I'm going to choose the Xbox 360. Yeah. It is a close battle between the PS3. Choose your favorite exclusive lineup because they both have the same exact third party when it comes to your Call of Duties and things like BioShock and a bunch of other fun things. And Mass Effect eventually comes to PS3 and all those types of games. But I just have too many memories playing Halo and Halo Reach. Like, we had Sam over on the stream yesterday, and like just reminiscing about Halo Reach was just too goddamn fun. And the controller is better on the 360 than the PS3. It's a close battle. And then with my last pick, I could choose the PS3 just to get The Last of Us on it. But I already have things like GTA and everything on my 360. I'm going to go and choose the Nintendo Wii. I love the Wii. The best party games ever are on the Wii, between Wii Sports Resorts, and then there you have some of the best 3D Mario platforms of all time too. The Wii's not a perfect console, but it did a lot of things right. And the most important thing that it did right was it was goddamn fun.
With my final pick, I'm going to go with the Nintendo DS, arguably the greatest handheld console of all time. these games were using those dual screens, those double screens left and right. You got the Zeldas, you got the Marios, you got Kingdom Hearts 358 over 2 days. The World Ends With You. Great RPGs, great platformers, great racing games. I love me some DS and some Picto Chat, dude. We were talking about software. You got to talk about Picto Chat.
Absolutely. Connor, I just demolished you in this draft.
You see, here's the thing is the people will say that you demolished me, and that's fine. If I take my squad versus your squad, I'm taking my squad every day of the fucking week. Every day.
PS2 and Switch you can't beat, Connor. Those are the top two.
PS1, PS4, GameCube, NES, and DS is the Xbox 360 is a weak console. I know that everybody has these memories of playing Call of Duty and Halo and Gears with their friends when they were in high school. I get that. It's very nostalgic. But when you look at those games and stack them up to the games on the PS3, it's not even close. And the PS3 is the worst PlayStation console, and it's still better than the 360.
Well, I think the PS5 is getting slowly and surely closer to the worst PlayStation console.
Yes, okay. Well, we were not there yet. We don't know yet.
That's true.
With the PS5.
Oh my gosh, we're eventually gonna do that podcast. I don't know if it's gonna be main pod or bonus pod for the future of PlayStation and what the rest of that timeline, but it's gonna be a hell of a podcast when we do it. We do need to shout out the Patreon members, Connor. I don't know if you had it.
Job. I was about to
prepared.
close this out. Yep, there we go. I have it right here.
I will kick us off with shouting out our Patreon members at the dearly beloved tiers for January. You guys, you got one more week. Yeah, this is your last week on this tier, so thank you so much. And then we will do our February members on February 1st. This is Charlie W,
Austin L,
Bag O Soup,
Calvin M,
Crispy,
DJ Zach B,
Ryan A,
JC,
Uli,
Jacob D,
Brian VD,
Big Merc,
Mel Nate,
Zrillix,
The Patty Cake.
Damn.
One more. That was too weak. No, I'll go with Damn. Holden M,
Topi,
Shane O,
Colin C,
Brock,
Voodoo,
Dr. Pookie Bear,
Alex the Golden,
New Amsterdam,
Master Diz,
Jesse F,
Ponster,
Gloomy,
Bad Fella,
Drifter X1, Skirt,
Hope,
Presto,
Maverick,
Goops,
J Matt B3,
Ali Benally,
Daniel L,
Michael B,
General G Dog,
Vorpal Matt.
and Brian.
What are the odds that Michael B is Michael B. Jordan?
Pretty high.
Yeah, I would say 9 out of 10 chance right there.
Alrighty, thank you so much for joining us on this episode of the Casual Gaming Conversation. We will see you on the next one. Peace out.